Honorable Chair, I'm worried that there is a stranger in the house.
Which stranger? Can you point out the stranger?
That is actually what is worrying me, Chair.
Where is the stranger?
Chair, we are just hearing sounds of a cat and we cannot see it. That is more worrisome than when you see the cat.
We cannot see
because
the cat.
Because it could be a spirit, Chair. Which means that the house should be evacuated with immediate effect.
Honorable Millie Odhiambo.
Oh, Chair. It is even worrisome. It is a black cat.
Leader of majority, are you still the cat? The stranger.
There is a black cat over there, Chair.
The black cat is the one the Honorable Millie Odhiambo is referring.
Chair, we need spiritual leaders for cleansing in this house.
Okay, Honorable Leader of Majority.
Yeah. This is a house of the people.
It is.
And anybody, including the wild animals and their pets, can do an oversight. This cat is representing a section of the people of Kenya. And I think we should continue. And I'm sure if somebody says the house didn't sit on this afternoon, when the cameras are done, you don't need to chase. In fact, we need to feed. This cat was here yesterday also. So we need to feed. And don't play around with a black cat. I'm sure the guys from Coast will tell us more.
Very well, very well, very well. It is important for us to notice that the stranger in the house is not a human, it's just a cat. And cats are not members of parliament. Leader of majority, the cats may represent the cats, but not in the house. So the ones who are recognized officially in the house are the elected members. However, I do direct that unless the cat is harmful or the sergeant at arms can ensure that the Millie doesn't see a stranger in the house.
But having said that, Chair, I also have an interest in this one because I am also a graduate of the National Youth Service. I was Kurutu in the F Company in Naivasha. and Chair, I want to say that even when I was going there, I was going very reluctantly. But I am happy. In hindsight, that is one of the best things that happened in my life. But before I comment, actually, I think one of the things I loved that the guy talked about is that the first lesson he says that when you want to change the world is learn to make your bed. And the Chair, in the National Youth Service, we used to make our bed at 4 a.m. And once you made your bed, you'd make a string and look at everything and it will be on a line. And before it becomes on a line, you would be punished. And the Chair, because I'm not very good with figures, I was always being punished every morning. But be that it may, I learned that the first thing you do when you want to change the world is to make your bed. You have to start small and you have to move against resistance. So Chair, even a few times when people see me going against the grain, I learned it at NYS. So long as I believe in something, so long as it matters to me, I will say it, whether you like it or not, because I learned to make my bed in NYS. That is a lot of the things that I have learned later in life, the thick skin I have, the ability to endure a lot. Chair, a lot of that I learned when I was in the National Youth Service. We learned to sleep while on our feet, and I'm not exaggerating, Chair. We'd fall asleep while standing. Chair, we learned to get water where there is none. We learned to eat ugali with a bone. Chair, we learned very many things, and we were handed a National Youth Service, and I was laughing when Honorable Duale and my colleague was talking about, Honorable Morogara was talking about the issue of Mount Kyoko. Fortunately for us as the women, we didn't go to Mount Kyoko, but we saw it at a distance. And I remember once we had a very terrible person at their camp because we joined them, I think, for about a month or so. And he was called Kofa. He was called General Kofa. And he would tell you in quotes, nafunga macho na nikufungua nikute umezunguka. And he would close his eyes, he says, nimefunga na kufungua, bado uko hapa. You will go and climb the hill. And Chair, we learned to be hardened. So it's one of the things I'm very thankful to God for, that I've learned many lessons that I would have never learned in any school, that I would have never learned in any, class, and Chair, I can never exchange it with anything in the world. However, I know one of the things we didn't like about that experience with the National Youth Service is that it was compulsory. It is nice when people go voluntarily, so that it's not a compulsory thing, because every human being has a tendency to resist anything that is being forced upon them. And so when it's made voluntary like this one, it's very good. Chair, I just want to comment on a few things. That I also want to say that I like the fact that under Clause 7, that it provides some of the roles include service to the nation. And I know that when we were in NYS, we did a lot of service, even though because the way the training was structured was not very good. We'd be made to plant flowers in the morning. By evening, you uproot them. The next morning, you plant them. And we said, really, our services could have been better used maybe to plant maize and things like that. But of course, in the more formal system, people now do more serious things. Chair, the only thing that I have seen that is of concern to me that is not included there, in terms of a training that is also not in the bill, is the issue of general information. Chair, I normally do it as a random thing, when I'm traveling anywhere in the country and I see a lot of NYS staff are used all over. And you will see a difference. The Kenya National Police, because some of us are very prominent in politics, when you move in, or you move anywhere, they know you, they say, Mheshimiwa Mili. National Youth Service, clueless. I'm not saying they must know me, but it tells you there's a problem with their general information if you don't know national leaders. And the Chair, they are not only clueless about leaders, they are clueless about a whole lot of things. That tells you there's something wrong with their training. One of the primary things that we are taught in the National Youth Service is general information. And we had PSS, we had ministers, we had different categories of people. The Chief Justice came and spoke to us, and yet we are from very, very different backgrounds. So I think that is something that they need to change. I also like the fact that they are going to be used in humanitarian missions. My only challenge is that under the bill we are providing that we'll use them in insurrections, and is in a situation where they do not have the police training or military training, because what they have is paramilitary training, which I also went through. I don't think they are fairly equipped to deal with such cases or to be dispatched for war. Chair, I think I don't have military training to talk, but at least I have paramilitary training, and I know I'm not equipped for war. Neither am I equipped to deal with the police issues. I know time may have passed, but I know what training we went through. It does not equip you to do the kind of things that we are saying that they can do here. And I think maybe what we can provide is either you enhance the training for them, or that for them to move at the next level, they need more enhanced training. Otherwise, they'll be unleashed on this, upon the public, and they will be doing terrible things because they don't have the requisite training, Mr. Speaker, sir. And Mr. Speaker, sir, the other thing that I would want to indicate is that if the committee, I hope the committee chair is here, that I hope in Clause 9 that they would include the Principal Secretary for Gender, because there is always a presumption that youth is only men, not women. And Chair, I know that I've been given a warning light because I had a lot to say. I think maybe I'll bring some by way of amendment. But even in 9.5, the members of the council, they're saying they must have at least 10 years experience. Chair, this is not the National Old Age Council. This is the National Youth Council. How do you expect the youth? I know that they made provision for the youth to be 3 years. But this is for the youth, so the numbers for the youth of the year should be much less. Chair, I don't have the time, but I will